Let's talk about the 2016 Mazda MX-5, also known as Miata, as it appears in the Crew 2. It is the fourth generation of the MX-5. When you start the street racing section of the game, it is presented as a star of the car. You don't have to pick it, but it is presented as the first one available. So let's look at the statistics of the car in the game. It starts off at 110 performance level, whatever that means. Basically, we get 214 kilometers an hour top speed and 160 brake horsepower. In game, it could be upgraded to 280 performance level, whatever that means. At 280 performance level, we get 364 kilometers an hour top speed, 579 brake horsepower. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour could be done in 2.6 seconds. Quarter mile could be done in 9.67 seconds. We also have 0.96 lateral Gs and a brake distance from 100 kilometers an hour to 0 in 16.33 meters. And of course, the parts will give us some other bonuses, as you can see. Now, what does that all mean in the game? Well, let's go to Dominion Forsberg number 7 race to show off the car. This race has plenty of turns, and it is a good way to show the speed and the grip that the car provides. As we start, I would like to note that there's going to be a ghost appearing on the track. This is from my previous run as I was trying to beat this at the ace level. So let's talk about the performance of the car. As you can see, the car has no issues speeding up and taking corners with almost pretty much pedal to the metal, or sometimes with just a bit of lift off that I need just to control that turn. Overall, there's an excellent grip, although there are some instances where I do feel that I'm drifting a bit, but generally there's excellent grip, and like you see, I don't even really need to use the brake that much except the last few corners where I did downshift, and that's what I use for braking. Here again, we go ahead and doing these corners at the fourth, another corner on the fourth gear, and then now we're going to go ahead and speed up and change to the fifth and clear off these few smaller corners with the fifth, and then we're just going to go ahead and go into the bigger turns, just lifting off as required in order to clear them. As we proceed here, we're giving ourselves already some boost through use of nitro, and here we are in the sixth, and we go back to the fifth now, and again we are going through the corners, just lifting off as needed in order to make them and clear them. And then when we are on this bit of a straight, I'm again putting down a bit of nitro to speed up so I can beat my ghost, and also in order to make sure that I beat this actual track at the ace level. Again, we are in the fourth, and here we have a bit of a late lift off that I did, and as a result I do hit the wall, so we're gonna have another one here again soon. As I'm gonna go in right there, you go ahead, as I was trying to kind of catch up to the ghost. And all this means is that if you are not really good at driving, the car will not do all the thinking and driving for you, but generally it will be able to handle some of the mistakes that you do and recover from them really well. Now, that's not always going to be the case 100% of the time. There are going to be instances where it will go kind of drift off and go off to the sides, and this becomes a bit of a problem, specifically when we are not kind of this race where there's a bit of a longer runs between the turns, but where there are more turns in the actual race, and I will actually demonstrate that later in the next one that we will do. But overall, as you can see here, it's a very much an enjoyable time driving this car on the track. There's no really of an issues. If you do things right, everything will be going right for you. Just keep in mind that you still need to be smart about how you going into the turns. And here we are, we're going into the last few turns. Again, I'm in the fifth here, Just gonna lift off just a bit here, then put down the pedal to the metal as we're going into the final. I'm gonna be giving some for nitro, and here we are. We clear the finish line and we beat the time, and I think we beat the ghost as well at the same time. Now let's do a race that will show the issue with the grip that I have mentioned earlier. The issue causes a bit of the drift at the corners and does provide a bit of attention as you make those turns. Downtown LA South race is the perfect race to showcase this issue, as it has very short runs between turns, so requires to quickly speed up and slow down, which is accomplished through use of gears and brakes. Now I'm just going ahead and make my way to the starting position here. The race, it's one of the very few races where you do have to do that yourself. The game doesn't lock you back into position. And here we go. We'll start off. And it's a very interesting race because we do have a guy on a motorcycle trying to race against cars, which is fine. But at the same time, I think he's trying to be suicidal because he's going to be competing with a big giant hunks of metal. He's going to be up with no protection at all against them, right? So, as you saw, we had a few quick already turns, and there in those turns, I do feel that I am drifting just a certain amount of, and as I'm trying to slow down and gear down, still there's that fear at me that I'm going to go ahead and drift too much or I'm going to spin out. And now we go ahead again to here, and that's again, here's the section, here's the first I need to gear down. And here we are, another turn again, and then there's another, and I am kind of drifting through all this as I'm going through a bit, not too much, but there's a certain amount of drift that's going handy. And here we are again, and going through here for the shortcut, and I'm picking up the speed. I'm going to go ahead, into the 5th, and there's not much chance of going into the 6th. The reason is because I need to do this turn again, and I just have to stay in the 4th, make it through the jumps, and hope that I'm not gonna flip out of the way incorrectly and end up in a wall. Again, slowly here, going slowly in the 3rd and speeding up to the 4th, making this turn in the 4th again, feeling that I'm going to go ahead and slide into the wall again, but not sliding in, and again, I'm pushing it forward, going into the 5th. Now, there's no chance again to go into the 6th, I have to gear down to go into the 4th. Make sure I'm aligned to the ramp and go in again here, and we're going to the finish. That's pretty much is a race that does this a good show of problems that this car has at times have with the grip, as you do feel it as you go through the race. And now let's quickly jump into the Dominion Frozen number 8 race to just showcase the issue with the grip even more when it comes to icy roads. And here we're going to go ahead, start off very quickly because we have the power to do it, the car speeds up really well. Now I'm just going to let go and try to control drift through the corner. Here we go, here's another one, we're going in and we're going to try to do that. And we are going to go ahead and lose some grip and hit the sides of the track. And this is going to be a problem for us. There you go, you can see the ghost, and this is a ghost not for the ace level, this is a ghost for the very beginning, very starting level of this track. So therefore, it's something that I should be able to beat this completely upgraded car, but no, I am struggling here. And the only way not to be constantly like slipping off or hitting the sides is to go slower. Go into the turns much slower, and then it will be possible to maintain the grip on the road. Now I'm not gonna go ahead and finish the whole race. The point here is just to show the issues the car has with the grip. And specifically it has these issues when it comes to driving on ice, which is of course an extreme condition, and it's not something that you're gonna expect all the cars to perform amazingly well. But when it comes to Miata or the MX-5, we are going to have this issue here, and here it is again. I'm going to try to get some grip on here. I got it, but then I'm trying to correct, and again I hit the sides. So this race was very much painful for me to do. So in conclusion, Mazda MX-5 was built to be a fun roadster to drive, and that feeling is captured in the game. There are a bit of an issue with the grip for the car sometimes, and there's a feeling that steering is not 100% precise sometimes. But whether I was driving in the open world or doing races or the skill challenges, it was fun car to drive, with exception of the frozen track races. So overall, I like 2016 Mazda MX-5, also known as Miata, in the crew too. Thank you for watching and listening. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it, and please subscribe.